Hello, everyone, and welcome to EllynwithaY Goes Live. This is episode 66, if you can believe it. I actually really can't believe it. I was thinking about that today when I was talking with my guest, Aja Moye. Oh my God, Aja, I say Wilson still. Moye. Aja Moye, who will be joining me later on in the show. She's my guest. We were talking about 66 episodes, and I feel like I'm always like, oh yeah, it's like, I've been doing this for a while, but dude, 66? I don't know, it's like, it hits different. Like, it feels like a lot. Like 66, I don't think I have 66 of anything. I mean, I have 1,000 puzzles pieces over here that still aren't done, but 66 is a lot. So I was like kind of sitting in it, kind of reveling in it for a moment today. So take a second. As we do every episode, I always remind everyone, like, let's just all take a collective breath. There's a lot going on, and something I think we could all use is a smile. I found myself, I was watching a couple different videos recently, and I noticed I was like smiling, like cheesing pretty hard actually, while I was watching them, and I realized it's because the people were smiling as well. So everyone at home, sitting, couch, table, chair, bed, wherever you are, it might feel a little cheese, but like, just smile. I'm smiling. Are you smiling? I hope you're smiling. I hope you're excited for a really good show. It's gonna be fun, and I'm really, really excited because my guest this week is literally one of my best friends of life. We met in college. We'll talk about it during the interview, and I can't wait to have her on. It's been 66 episodes to get one of my best friends to come on. Aja actually came to, I think it was the 50th episode? It has to have been the 50th, right? 6 weeks. We've been in quarantine for forever. So yeah, the 50th episode, and got to see like how it all works. But I'm really excited that she's actually coming to be on my show. So now that we've all taken a collective breath, and we did have in the comments, one of my other best friends, Sam, noticed I did have a picture change in the corner. So the picture change is in honor of my godson, who is no longer a, 2-year-old there, 1-year-old. My godson graduated 8th grade, and unfortunately, because of COVID, the world is not what it should be, and he didn't get to really, really celebrate. So it's just my little call out to him. I haven't seen him in a while, and I wanted to say happy graduation to Tanner. And also just a shout out to my Noni in the corner. I haven't seen in a long time. She was like the grand marshal of the 4th of July parade in our town, and obviously 4th of July is not what it was, is not going to be what it was. So just a little shout out to my Noni. And yeah, I think everyone can see Noni in the picture. And yeah, Tanner he's 14 now. That's an old photo. So I am going to dive right into my hot topics. I feel like I want to just remind everyone that I am now doing the show on a bi-weekly basis, and that is so I can put more time and energy into my episodes being really intentional, because I feel like this is a moment in our society, in our culture, and for me personally, where I feel like I'm really stepping into using my voice in a way that hopefully is beneficial to others beyond myself. And so I'm going to be doing my show on an every other week basis, and I want to have more time for the guests on my show. So we're going to go through the top half and then jump to the guests, because I think it's really important. A big tenet of the show has been, it's since the beginning, showing people from all walks of life that are in different industries and different types of bodies and color and age and sex and sexual orientation, like identity. Like, it's to show everyone, like, my world is so beautiful and colorful, and I'm so grateful that people are gracing me with their existence. And so I want to make sure that this platform that I'm creating, which is, again, I always say it's weird to say platform, but I want to make sure that this platform I'm creating is something that someone who's watching it, whoever lives in a super homogenous place and doesn't have a lot of diversity and doesn't see the privilege that diversity gives you, because I was raised with that, but also people who maybe who don't look like me, but could perhaps see someone who looks like me speaking up and using their voice, hopefully for good, in a way that is received positively. So that's really like important to me, and I feel like that's going to be a big part of the show moving forward. And I really appreciate everyone that's reached out and has said that they missed the show, or that they are excited that I'm doing it, or really appreciate what I'm posting in my Instagram stories. Like, that is all going to be put into my show. And so on the weeks that I'm not doing my episode or not doing my show, I will continue to be posting on social media all of the different resources and things I'm finding on social media, books I'm reading, shows I'm watching, podcasts I'm listening to. But I really hope that you will dedicate the time on Tuesday nights at 10 for a half hour of happiness. I hope you dedicate those 30 minutes to educating yourself on the racial injustice and like civil rights issues that are going on in the country right now. And I hope that you can kind of unlearn a lot of the ridiculousness that's been taught and ingrained from society, and relearn and kind of open your heart up. And so that's where the show is going to be going from now on, bi-weekly. And I hope that everyone is excited for kind of like an evolution. So with that being said, we're going to do like a version of Hot Topics, but it's more so like a thought. I think, calling myself out, I, in January, did like a food for thought or / hot topic that was like, apparently it's time to pay attention to local elections, or the primary, it was the primary. And I'm kind of someone who just like put my head in the sand a little bit when it came to politics with like the primaries, because I was like, what's the point? They're all running at the same time. I don't even get to vote until June. Like, what does it matter? But I think that I obviously have learned, and I'm doing better. And it's like, I have to know about everything that's going on in politics, because like, I don't know, maybe it connected on like a deeper level for me now. I have to know about everything that's going on with politics, because I have to be able to vote and be informed about primaries, but also local elections. I need to know about who the people are that are representing me, and if their beliefs and what they're running on aligns with what I believe. And I think that sometimes it like, maybe it like, I don't know, maybe it's a generational thing. Maybe it's something I just didn't. I have a very active person in my hallway. I feel like I have never heard someone so active at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday in 66 episodes. Should just invite them. No, I would not. COVID, masks. I was going to invite them in. But so I don't know, maybe I was just putting my head in the sand because it was easier that way, and that's not right. And so I'm committing to staying informed, being more informed in the political arena, local elections. It's like so important. So I was like YouTube watching debates of the local elections. These YouTube videos had like less than 1,000 views. It's like, I don't know, maybe people aren't watching them either. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get read up on like what's going on. And so that's a big thing, is like, I think it's just sometimes politics and the political system, it can all feel so big. I feel like that's almost like what they want you to feel, that it's too big, that you can't actually make change by being just one person. And you can, because, you can raise your voice, you can lift yourself up, and you can be vocal, and you can talk to other people, and then you'll be vocal together. And from my dad, because politicians are supposed to work for us. It's important to watch what they're doing. Yes, it is. They work for us. It's like when I was in, it's like when I was in college, and I had this one professor who was like really giving us a hard time. And I remember joking with my friends, and we were like, wait, we pay to go here. Don't we pay the salary here? Doesn't this feel not right that this person is like dumping on us and treating us not right in the classroom? And like, shouldn't they work for us here, right? So they should be teaching us what we want to learn. That was in my youth. We were really just having a good time in college. So also as a part of my hot topics, my roommate Catherine sent me something about, apparently there's like a conspiracy theory running around that Ellen DeGeneres' show is canceled and she's on house arrest. It's not funny. She's on house arrest with an ankle bracelet on. Now, I'm not making light of whatever it is that the conspiracy theorists are like accusing her of. I just think you know, if you're a fan of Ellen with a Y, if you've been watching the show for a while, I do have a tendency to like speak things into existence. I will cite the fact of me identifying that Noah Centineo, yes, he's coming up again. Noah Centineo, like, may or may not have had a girlfriend, and we called it on the show, and I was been talking about it for months, and then it came out they had a girlfriend. I've spoken a couple of other things into reality on the show. You know, I've said I would happily take over. All we have to do is cross out the extra E in Ellyn and put a Y over it. So who knows? Just like speaking that intention. And we're going to talk a lot more about speaking intentions and speaking to your vision when Aja comes on, because we are going to be doing a vision board check-in, because Aja and I did vision boards together in January. And who could have known where the world would go in January? So we're going to do a vision board check-in and see where we are and see where we're tracking with our vision. And finally, I just want to like let everyone know, because I don't know who's seeing what on social media, but there is a spending blackout that's being recommended. The dates are kind of like, people are saying it's July 4th to July 7th. I'm seeing the most July 7th, to avoid purchases online and in store unless it is with a Black owned business. And I think that's really important. I think it's really it's a really intentional thing you can do. I think I've spoken on the show a lot of times, but in particularly the last episode, like, love is an action word, and showing that you care for people or care for someone, that you want to take action, you know, vote shopping Black owned store is a way to do that. So I recently found this company called Card Craft US on Etsy. Etsy is a great place to find local businesses and just support people in small business. It is a Black owned card company, and they will send the card. Literally, they will write. They have like a robot thing that will sign the card for you, and they will mail it for you directly. You don't have to do anything. So amazing. I found them on Etsy. Love. So that is a Black owned business you can patron right now. Jen, Ben, I can't tell if I like watching you or your dad's commentary more. My dad. Thanks, Dad. So that's kind of my hot topic. Moving into my what to watch segment, I realized maybe I wasn't sharing all of the things I was consuming, like podcasts I really love, or books I've been reading. So I'm kind of going to expand the what to watch segment to not only be shows, but also like movies and like all media. So right now, 3 shows, again, because my show is going to be a bi-weekly basis. I'm going to give you a couple of shows you can watch. The first is Just Mercy. It has Michael B. Jordan, Brie Larson, and Jamie Foxx, and it's the story of Brian Stevenson, who founded Equal Justice Initiative. So if you've been seeing a lot of people posting from this social account called EJI, it's the Equal Justice Initiative, and it's a very compelling story. Brian Stevenson, how he was a lawyer, he was a Black lawyer, he graduated from Harvard and went down into Alabama and tried to get people that were like wrongfully convicted or had like mistrials, get them off of death row in Alabama. It's a really, really good movie. I definitely watch it. I spoke to my friend Jess. She read the book. She said the book was really, really good. Shout out, Caroline reads in the Bury. Yes, Caroline, hi. I saw you when we were in Shayna Tyler's Diversity and Inclusion Really Real panel this weekend. Hello, good to see you. So definitely like read the book, watch the movie, and follow EJI on Instagram. Super, super good. Then also another movie I watched recently is more like just like fiction fun, like good time. Not fun. So it's like complex. It's a complex story. It's very real, based on our times. It has to do with police brutality, but it has to do also with these 2 like exceptionally intelligent high school kids who figure out time travel. And I will leave it there. Spike Jonze was a producer. It's really, really interesting. It's set in New York City. And it's like a quick show that you can watch, but it was just really entertaining, and I'm shocked I didn't hear about it, but I'm also not shocked I didn't hear about it. So now I'm telling you about it. It's on Netflix. And finally, I'm currently listening to on Audible, Ijoma Oluo's So You Want to Talk About Race. It's really good. I've never done Audible before. I've never listened to a book on Audible, and it's really like I didn't really even know like how it worked. I used to do book on tape when I was younger. Oh my God, showing my age. Um, books on tape, like literally like cassette tapes. Like they came in what oh my God, in like a VHS contain. Oh my God. All right. We'll just stop just dating myself. But so I used to listen to books on tape a lot because I was like I'm a slower reader. I am. I don't have to be like ashamed of that. And I even took like a class when I was younger to like learn to read faster. Just read when you read. Read how you read, people. It's like don't feel pressure to read faster. And the book is really, really powerful, very compelling. And I really, really think everybody should be reading or listening to the book. Listen to the book. So that is my like 3 recommendations of like what to watch, read, listen to, consume, that are going to be informative, going to have you like look at things through an interesting lens. I know, speaking of like dad in the comments, I know you and mom watched See You Yesterday. So I know you guys like that as well. So that is the top half of the show. Lots of like information for you. And as the show like unfolds, I think, and as I move forward with how I kind of want to structure the show, I think we'll hit a bit of a stride of what's the mix of like super fun, regular, Ellyn with a Y plus like informative. I'm like being honest and open. I'm like finding my footing on how I want to manage that. Shout out to my Aunt Nancy who watched The Hate U Give. It's very, very good. It's a very good movie and a book as well. I have spoken about on this show often. I like to watch the movie before I read the book because Nicole, hello. I like to watch the movie before I read the book because inevitably what you hear is, "Oh, the book was so much better than the movie," right? Well, so why don't I just watch the movie and then I can go read the book, which is the source text, and the book is always going to be better. It's going to give you more depth. It's going to give you like paint a better picture of the characters. So I did that when I watched Normal People on Hulu. I watched it and then I went to read the book, and it was so good. And like, oh gosh, Normal People I love. Oh, also Normal People is going to have like 2 special episodes out of like brand new episodes coming out. If you don't know that, I'm telling you this now. Very exciting. I think they're filming it like remotely or somehow. Hi Jenny. Hi. And then if you watch Fleabag, Hot Priest is going to be in it. It's a lot of code words I feel like I just used, but I don't know the actor's name, and he just goes by Hot Priest. Okay, so that is my what to watch segment, which means I'm going to move into the guest portion of my show, which means my darling friend Aja.
Hi, girl.
Hi! Oh my God, you look so good.
So do you. I had to step up my game. You were like, I'm gonna come with the red lip. I was like, okay, well,
Yes,
me too.
I love it. Oh my God, look at you with the flex in the background.
Not a flex. If only you, I mean, we just moved, so this is the corner of our home that hasn't been fully moved into yet.
Yeah. You're literally like, okay, let's take things out so it looks like we have a home. We're gonna be alive.
Like we've been here forever. That's what I wanted to make it seem like.
I love it. Everyone in the comments is very excited to see you.
I'm so excited to be on here. I mean, you're doing the daggone thing, girl.
Oh my God, I can't. It's like I can't believe it. Well, let me introduce you, and then we'll talk about all this. So I was like, I can't wait to have like one of my best friends on. We're just gonna like chat.
Yes, right.
Therapy is my dad, if you can see him.
I figured that out early on in the show. So. I love your parents, by the way. So, hey, Mr. Puleio.
Okay, so everyone, welcome Aja Moye. She is one of my best friends. She is a vocalist, an entrepreneur, a goals level wife and married person who I always say is goals. She is someone who performed the national anthem for President Obama. She is someone who has traveled the world internationally, performing, living in China, touring, running her own small business, getting checks on checks. She is a kind person. She's a kind person. She's someone I often am like, what would Aja do? And I feel like I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people who think that way from like Redcast. I'm not going to go into the detail of how we met each other because I want you to tell that story. But I literally couldn't speak more highly of this human being. One of my best. I literally can't even. I love it. I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you again for having me.
Of
I
course.
love you.
So I start the show with like, how do we know each other? And the show has grown to a point where like I don't always have someone on that I actually like have known, but like we go back. So how do we know each other?
We do go back. I guess now it's over a decade, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's crazy. Yes, because it was this year that me, not you yet, but 10 years ago, I graduated from college, undergrad, which is
was that really 10 years ago?
10 years ago, 2010.
Wow.
So, we go way back. Really, all that I can say, and I'll keep it short and sweet, is that I just remember this really obnoxious little girl who wanted to be my roommate.
How dare you? How absolute dare you?
I am kidding.
We were paired together.
We were paired. Divine intervention, okay? And we were roommates, and we might keep mentioning this thing called Red Caps, just so people know. It's this freshman orientation group when we were in college. We spend a few weeks in the summer on campus. It feels like forever. And we have roommates and stuff, and it's just us on campus. So we like have this entire campus to ourselves. And Ellyn and I were roommates, and that's how we got super duper close. And she met my parents, and we did everything together in these few weeks. And then after that, she became an RA, a resident assistant in college, and then we were partners in art. So like we were just attached at the hip pretty much. After that Red Caps experience, and then our friendship blossomed from there, and it just continued to blossom.
Oh my God, I love it. There's like, it's basically a series of me over the years being like, Aja, I am like your best friend. Aja, I am like, I'm the most important person to you.
No, you love me. You really love me. Like, we're gonna be best friends.
We're best friends.
Yes, and that's how it happened, and she was right. So she said she speaks things into existence, and here we are.
That's what
12 plus years later.
That's what it is. That's what it is. I will literally never forget. I'll never forget. I walked into the room because you were there first, and you were on the phone. And I walked in, and you were like on the phone, and then you were like, oh, come in, and you were like hanging up, and I was like, oh, I hope she likes me. Because I was new. I was like a first year coming.
Yeah, you were a freshman Red Cap. Yeah.
I was like, oh, I hope she likes me. It's like maybe she thinks I'm a loser, like whatever. I don't know.
So it was RJ, right? Who paired us together. So thank God for RJ. Right?
RJ, Robert Allen, he was on the show, guys. He was on the show like the first like remote episode I did. I had like 6 different friends and family call into the show essentially to like remote report on what was happening with COVID.
International, nationally known. I mean, yeah.
So it was, that was wild. So we've known each other for a really, really long time. And in that time, I think you've been someone who's kind of been very, very supportive and uplifting for me, especially when it comes to this. I remember a very specific, I was saying this to you this weekend, I remember going out for frozen yogurt with you in West Hartford, the Sweet Frog, and we were eating frozen yogurt and we were talking and you were like, you should just have a show. Like, what are you doing? Like, start a YouTube channel. And I was like, so not in the place mentally, emotionally. I was like, oh no, that's not for me. No one wants that. Like, Fast forward.
That one you didn't yet speak into existence, but I did it for you. That's what friends do.
That's what friends do. That's what they do. And so what friends do is along the many roads of things we've kind of like pushed and pulled and pushed each other forward, vision boarding. I wanted to talk about our vision boards.
And how amazing they are.
They're amazing, and we definitely in no way could be held responsible for anything that's happened this year with our vision boards.
We didn't have those on that.
No, we didn't have the in. We didn't know. But I think it's really funny. So 6 months ago in January, you came over when we were like, you know, cutting up magazines. We have like our like oak tag. I mean, this was the most arts and craftsy I've been since I was like pledging my sorority. Okay, like I haven't.
We took out all the stops. Okay,
right? And we have like, you know, we're cutting. It was just so, we were talking about it, and I was so like, I had no idea about vision boarding. Now, you had vision boarded before.
Yes.
Okay.
And only I think the last year. So maybe like 2019. Yeah. Okay. But it was mid 2019, I believe.
Better late than never. You're like, let's just start over.
I can declare this is my year at any moment. December 30th if need be. Okay.
You can claim your year at any moment. If you haven't done a vision board up to this point in 2020, you can do a vision board right now.
It's the perfect time because we're literally at the halfway point of the year, like into an hour and a half. And so.
Exactly. Oh my God, literally. Oh my God, you're so right. July is tonight, people.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Literally, I'm like, what? I've spent, I think, almost like half of my 30s in my apartment this year. It's like kind of sad.
Honestly, I know.
I want to redo.
I think a lot of people are doing that, especially like for their birthdays.
Yeah.
So.
What if I celebrate my 30th again? What if I just like full stop?
But you didn't turn 30 when we were in a pandemic. So.
Aja, you're supposed to support me through everything.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so when it comes to vision boarding, I think like when you were putting your like thoughts together for vision boarding, I feel like it's because it was new to me. I haven't really like put down pen to paper. I know I was telling you the other day, I was like writing stuff down, like putting it down on paper. What do you think vision boarding and like putting things on paper, what do you think that does for the vision?
It's everything. And I may be like looking beyond the camera because I actually put mine up so that I could see it as we were talking. But it's everything. And I've learned a lot from my coaches that writing your goals down is paramount, especially if you really want something to come to fruition. We spoke about that this weekend, like really writing those things down. So a vision board just helps to put it in a very, for me, a cohesive like way instead of like tucked away in a journal somewhere. It's up on the wall. You can see it all the time, be reminded of it. Mine is very like glitzy and because I'm extra at times. So it's just, it's in my face. And I think the way that I went about it was to really kind of section things off and be like, okay, what do I want this year to look like in all different areas, you know, finances, relationships, spirituality, health, whatever it was. It did a lot for me. And I've found them to be really helpful, which is why, and you forgot to mention that this vision board date that we had was like part of my birthday turn up. Oh. That was like my birthday. I was like, right. No, because, right. So my birthday, guys, is at the beginning of the year, January 12th. Feel free to come through next year.
You're like, send a card.
Right, January 12th? Okay. So I always take the new year. It's a new year for everybody, but then it's also a new year for me. So I was just like, this is a really good time for me to set my vision board, you know, into motion. And it's going to be my 31st year. And I call this my proverbial year, Proverbs 31. So I just really wanted to like be intentional about it and speak it into existence.
Well, I'm glad I could be the conduit for making sure everything comes true for you.
Absolutely.
I'm glad we booked that date and that, you know, I was able to provide that for you.
You absolutely did. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. You did that.
So I want to talk about like the areas of focus and trying to pay attention. So something I really, oh my God, we have like, oh my God, Catherine, my roommate, oh my God, Pete. Oh, Pete, Tattoo Money, everyone, the music I was playing at the beginning, that's him in the comments right there. Follow Pete.
Hey, Tattoo Money.
Antoine just joined. Oh, there There he is. I knew he was going to join. First ever guest on my show was Antoine.
Yeah. Right.
So I think something about vision boarding that I was kind of like paying attention to this year was like I would look at it and, you know, pay attention to it. But then when something would happen that would be like related to it, I would actually like take a moment to sit in it and be like, oh my God, that's the vision board. So like we did the vision board in January. And then like a couple weeks later, I actually was able to book Sean Taylor from a Netflix show called The Circle and have her come on my show. And one of the things on my board was like host with the most and like doing more entertaining, right? And doing my show. So I was like, oh my God, it works. It like, I was like, oh, I was like, it's working.
It's a magic pill.
I was like, it's like magic pill. I was like, oh my God, it's working. So are there any moments that you've had in the last 6 months that it's so funny? I'm like interviewing you and like literally interviewing you.
You are.
I'm like asking you in like such an interviewee way. But are there any moments that you've had in the last 6 months where you're like, oh my God, the vision board?
Actually, yes. So I split mine up. Like I was saying, I'm super organized. So I was like, okay, this section is for women who inspire me. And one of those people on the board that I posted, I actually got to meet and speak to and learn from in person. So that was very exciting for me. Really within, it was a month, maybe like 6 weeks after our vision board date. So that was just like, oh my God, I can check that off. Beyonce and J-Lo are up there too. So
soon.
That's going to happen. Okay. But also as far as like my business, like you mentioned, that's really grown in this 6 months that I've been intentionally working on things with that. And spiritually, for sure. And that takes for me like a daily effort. So yeah, and I love what you said about how, you know, you kind of sit in the moment when you realize something happens from the vision board. For me, I kind of take it as like something to reflect on when maybe something doesn't go my way. So that's what I really looked at it for. Like if there's some type of obstacle or something happens in life, I'm just like, okay, what did I say again? Because, you know, it keeps me on track.
That's a really good way. See, guys, this is why me and Aja are friends, because we like really it's a good balance. Like I didn't even think of it that way. Like when something's not going right, like come back to the vision board and be like, okay, well, because I really feel like it's so funny. I've been looking at things. Maybe I've been thinking that way and I never put it to words, but like I've been looking at a couple things in my life that were like really hectic and stressful, like a year ago, and how those things were really difficult in the moment. But now have kind of worked out in a blessing, and have come full circle in a blessing. And like, that is a really good perspective to be like, okay, if I'm not getting what it is I'm thinking I want right now, like that really means that the universe is working in a different way to put me where I'm supposed to be. Like, even if it's difficult now, something might be in the works to make something else better.
Yeah. Or there's a lesson in it.
Yeah.
There's just like, it's always, and I love what someone said, like, I like that POV. It's all about your perspective. So maybe I'm thinking I want this, but am I subconsciously like, what's the word? Doubting myself or, you know, whatever it could be. So it kind of like makes you check yourself. At least for me.
No, for real. Oh my God, Antoine's like currently looking at my vision board.
I know. I would love to see him.
I had to take a picture of mine because mine's in my bedroom. I literally like have it up on the back of my bedroom wall. And this is crazy. So I went and I looked at it just now, and I had a whole section about travel. So like, you know what? That's not for me right now, okay?
No. You're not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. But also, like, wear a mask. I feel like I shouldn't have to say it, but like, everyone wear a mask.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everyone wear a mask. I just like remembered that. I'm like, let me just PSA really quick. Also something I had on here was literally, I don't know if you remember this. I was like, I want to like, literally the words I have on here are ignite giving, power with purpose. And it has a picture of people doing like philanthropy work. And it has vow to be a force for good. And I'm like,
look at you in this moment.
Literally in my bedroom, a half hour before this show started, I literally was like taking the pictures, like to take the picture. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even like, this was on the board. Like, this is on the
Yeah.
board. This is like a moment where I'm like, we were talking about this weekend of like, you know, when you feel like, almost like an alignment of like, oh, I'm stepping into a moment where it's like, I'm really feeling like this is where I'm supposed to be. This is the voice I'm supposed to have. Like, I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. And it was like that, like, I literally had that just like half hour ago.
But you know what that says? Because I think too, there's like this misunderstanding of vision boards. It's not this like magic thing, right? That's coming true for you because you're so intentional about everything that you do. And I was telling you, I was like, you're really in this moment, I feel, at least from what I see, that you're starting to really walk in your purpose. And so you're thinking about all of those things. You put on the vision board everything that you really wanted to accomplish for this year. So it's happening because you're doing the work. You know what I mean? And once you do that, it's a no-brainer. Like, it's predictable that it'll happen.
Exactly. I feel like that is the biggest thing. And it's like everyone, I mean, you are someone who's put years and years and years and years into your craft and being a singer and being a vocalist and traveling and touring. And I feel like people sometimes like see some kind of end goal as like the goal, but like the work along the way and the hustle along the way and putting in the time and energy to be great is as much a part of it as achieving something.
It's 95% of it, I think. I'll quote one of my favorite people in the world, Beyonce. She said in her Coachella documentary, she was rehearsing, right? She had just had these babies, and I just took that to heart. She was like, everyone wants the performance, but no one wants to rehearse. And I was just like, that is so true. Because we all want the glory, right? Want to be pretty on Instagram Live like you are and do all that stuff. But no one wants to, like, you put a lot of work into this, especially with their editing afterwards, putting it up on YouTube. Like, that's all BTS. Like, that's behind the scenes, and no one sees that. They just see the end result. But it's like all that stuff you do behind closed doors that really matters. So
that's like I think a really good point of like, and also like taking it back to, you know, you don't have to be like trying to be a talk show host, right? It can be literally how, you know, if you're, you know, want to run a marathon, if you want to just be able to walk a mile, like it's all the idea of like, you're not just going to like go from here to there. You have to like work towards it. And
it's making a daily thing.
Yeah, it's a daily thing. And I feel like it's like such a good reminder because even like I don't live in that headspace 24/7. Like it's like you have to do the work to remind yourself to live in that headspace.
Right. Let's be real here.
Yeah, like it's not like you just like, I feel like
I wake up every morning ready to go.
I know, like some days it's not it. Some days it's not it. Some days I got all these like cookie doughs sent to me because I did something for Refinery, like from dough in New York, and I was literally eating one, and I was like, "We're eating cookie dough. We're just eating cookie."
This doesn't fit on my health and fitness portion, but
no, because there's a section here that has health and fitness. It's more so there's a section that's about like it says confidence, run girl, and then it says like. There's a lot about like women and trusting and accepting ourselves on here, which I think has been a big journey for me as well. So that, and like deeper, like having deeper relationships and like being open in those relationships. Cause you know, I have struggled with vulnerability. But, no, I think that's like, you know, some days it's just not it also, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. That's definitely going to happen. Be prepared for it.
I know everyone literally in the comments is like, leave room for cookie dough.
Yes. Lisa, yes.
Always.
Ask Brandon. I'm always looking for a cookie.
We're like Domino's or Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen.
Yes. Okay, date after COVID. Okay.
I literally thought about Dairy Queen because I'm gonna go back to New Jersey. Everyone socially distant, but I'm going back to New Jersey for a minute. And I immediately was like, Dairy Queen.
They don't have that in New York?
Girl, no, there's like a Dairy Queen here. And it's like uptown.
Wow.
It's like in Midtown. We can't go there. We can't go there now.
Okay.
No,
I
we're
didn't know
like,
that.
we're deprived. We don't have Moe's. We don't have Dairy Queen.
We're not deprived at all. You have the best. They don't have Dairy Queen because they have everything else.
They
I
have
mean,
literally everything
no
else.
disrespect,
Oh,
DQ. But
speaking of ice cream, if you really want really good ice cream, I ordered from this place. It's literally it. Oh my god, this is for anyone that lives in New York. It is like one of the few Black-owned restaurants in Lower Manhattan, which is like a problem in and of itself. But it's called Mikey Likes It. You can order it. They'll send you like a pint. And I ordered. Speaking of Beyonce, no, is that Beyonce? No. What was her character in Austin Powers?
Foxy Cleopatra.
Foxy Cleopatra. Oh God, that's probably riddled with problems. But like, the name of it was called like Foxy Brown, and it was like it was this like really good like coffee and chocolate and delicious. It was.
Did you say coffee or toffee?
Coffee ice cream with like cookies and stuff. Oh, you get out of here, okay? You know what? To each their own, okay? To each their own.
Coffee.
But it's called Mikey Likes It, and it like Jay-Z has had them like cater ice cream to his events. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
That's why I was thinking Beyonce. I was like, oh my god, me and Beyonce eat the same ice cream. You know she doesn't eat that though. She's like vegan, paleo. She's all the things now.
But on Sundays she does, and Antoine, he can verify. Yes. Sundays and ice cream.
Oh my god, that's like, do you remember when I used to only drink Diet Coke on the weekends? Oh, do you remember that in college?
There were a lot of things that we did in our youth. I heard you say that earlier. In my youth.
In my youth. Oh my god. I'm just looking at everyone. It's like, not like a green tea.
Not like
croissant.
the green tea croissant.
How dare you? It was delicious, Antoine. He really didn't like it. You know who would like it though? Pete, Tattoo Buddy. He loves green matcha anything.
Really?
Yeah, we had a green tea croissant, myself, Aja, and Antoine was not for it.
He wasn't feeling it. Didn't we like close that place down? Like we shut it down that night, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
We did.
Yeah. for desserts.
The bakery. We shut the bakery down. Okay.
I know, literally there was like people having drinks at the bar and we're just at the bakery.
Yeah. I'll take the matcha tea and the dark chocolate.
We're like, this is our kind of party. Like this is the kind of party we're having.
Exactly.
So I wanted to ask you about like your vision board and if there's anything that like if you feel like there's something on there that like you're working towards and like did you like if it's something that hasn't manifested yet or you feel like is kind of like you know you're on the way, are there things that you're doing on like a daily or like on a regular basis? Like do you look back at it regularly? Like what are you doing to like kind of keep it in the forefront?
Right. I do check it regularly. It was on the wall before we moved. Now it's going back up on the new wall. For me, I was actually talking to another friend about this today. I think balance is something that we all strive for, but it's kind of like a myth. That's what I've been finding to a certain extent. So I would say there's something in every area where it's just like I'm still striving. I haven't like made it at all in any of those realms. So for me, but I see the accomplishments in each area too. For my like health and fitness portion, the queen section that I call it, spirituality in my business, all of those different, like I'm striving in all 4 areas. To be real, I mean, you know, because even like with the fitness, one of the things I've really been looking into more is making lifestyle changes with, you know, fitness and health and nutrition. And that really came full circle for me this year because I would normally do, and you and I, we go way back also in our like fitness journeys. Yeah. So not trying to be so extreme with like a crazy, I don't know, and I don't want to say diet, but I guess that's kind of
like
what it is.
Like a plan.
A plan.
Yes, a plan.
Yeah. Right. Not going extreme in a plan, but just like making healthier lifestyle choices. So like that was an epiphany for me this year Because I used to always be like, okay, I'm going to start this plan, and when I start it, I have to go 100% or done.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, I want to say everything. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, no, it does. Because I think it's like, I think that I always struggle with like, feel like I have so many things I want to work on that sometimes it can
Yeah.
feel overwhelming, but also looking at how they're kind of pretty interconnected and
Yeah.
the discipline of, you know, from like a health and wellness perspective of like, you know, like negative self-talk, right? That's a part of confidence. That's a part of physical well-being, right? Is like, okay, how do I check that, right? If you start to hear, there's some stat that's like, I think we think 70,000 like negative thoughts in a day. And like, I mean, for some people it feels like, yep, that's really real. And for other people it's like, you know what, maybe, yeah, I was like, is it just 70,000? You're like overachiever. You're like, I got way more. It's like, no.
Right.
It's like, no.
I strive high in everything I do.
You only have 70,000?
Try 100K, okay?
Get on my level. This is what I'm saying. Like, you always make me funnier. I feel like we go back and forth. Oh my god, that's a good stand-up bit. That's a good stand-up bit.
Oh my god, and I've never... Ellyn makes me funny because I'm not.
I do not agree. I think that you're really funny. No. But anyway, what I'm saying about the like negative thoughts is that like I can't combat 70,000 negative thoughts. But what I can do is like when I catch myself in one, I've been working on just like no. Like no. Like the thought happens, I don't really finish the sentence of the thought, or I kind of like I will like finish it, but I'll finish it and look at myself and be like, what a joke that you thought that. Like, that's so silly. Like, what? We're not saying that to ourselves. And so then it becomes like a moment where I'm like laughing to myself, which I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm just, you know me, I love to laugh. I'm a big joker. So like, I try to like catch it and stop it, or catch it and like call it for what it is, which is ridiculous. But that's like, no, that's just like for me, I feel like it's like one of the things that's like, not exactly like stop negative self-talk, but that's like a part of what is on the board. Yeah, that's great. And so I think it's the act of like stopping our thought. That's really good. I only learned that recently, so yeah. I'm working at it. And it's a forever thing. Yeah, that's not a thing that like ever would be fixed. Like there's no such thing as being fixed. It's just like something that you're like cognizant of. So as we go forward with the next 6 months of the year, fingers crossed the world can like get it together. We can like be around each other, masks, everyone, masks. I want to like have a re-release of Mask Off, the song Mask Off, and have it be like Mask On. You should do that. DM Future. Yeah, Future like, who is this girl in my DM? I'm like, it's not that. Trust me, it's not that. I'm not DMing. It's not that. Not that type of party. I just have an idea. Right. So as we move into the like next 6 months of the year, which is kind of crazy, like what kind of, I mean, and it's all been it's a very heavy time. It's a very intense time. What are some things that you are doing to kind of like leave space for yourself to allow for the vision board to kind of do what it does? Right. So something that's really cool this year, because I'm ambitious, and sometimes it can be overwhelming, like you said, when you have like your mind on all these things that you want to do. It can kind of, for me, sometimes it can stop me in my tracks. And so I've been like, okay, the things that I need to do to keep me centered and to keep me excited to actually take action, writing a song, or just finding those things that like bring me joy. Just this past week, we went to the beach very safely, socially distanced from everyone, and masks on when we needed to. But just finding those little moments of joy and not being afraid to like bask in those moments so that I can like refill my tank. Mm-hmm.
That's been really key for me. Something that I didn't really focus on before, thinking like, oh, it's not all work, no play. I mean, because you got to refuel.
Yeah.
And that's what I think I'm going to do even more of, responsibly in the next half of the year, to really like keep me going, to make sure that those things on the vision board continue to manifest.
That's a really great point. And it's also like a really good place, because that's that's always how I end my show, is talking about joy and like leaving space and room for joy. And I think even now, a lot of the dialogue that people are seeing on social media, I heard it this weekend. I was watching a panel that Shayna Tyler, who was on my show last week, 2 weeks ago, did. Someone said like, joy is a form of resistance, right? And like joy is like an action. It's an action to like leave space for joy and to make space for joy. So I think that's a really, really good point to remind everyone of, like, everyone has the right to make that space for themselves.
Yeah.
Especially now.
Because if not, we're letting the enemy win, and that's not okay.
And to not let the enemy win, I want to read out the reminders Lisa had. Wear your mask, wash your hands, register to vote, absolutely register to vote, and also be informed about your local people that you need to know about. And
the local people.
The local people. See, I'm still learning the vernacular, okay? I'm still learning.
Right. It's all a process.
It's a process, like assembly people, Congress, all those things.
Right.
And finally, wear sunscreen. All of the things that are things you can be doing that are like acts of kindness, love, and joy for yourself right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Aja, thank you.
All these summers.
Thank you so much for coming on my show. This is like literally crazy, but it's also like great that we could do it like remote, because you don't live here in the city and I can still have you on as a guest.
Yes. Thank you again, my dear, for having me on. This has been a lot of fun. I saw everyone who was chiming in. I think my cousin chimed in for a second. Mika, let me shout her out. She's in Alabama. So yeah, this was awesome.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
The reach.
The reach.
The reach. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. I love you. And I will talk to you later.
More. Okay.
Bye. Thank you so much, Aja, for coming on. Thank you everyone for watching. As you know, these shows are going. I'm like doing long shows now, I think. I leaves more space to have fun and conversation. I hope that you enjoyed the show this week. I hope that you are going to enjoy this like new bi-weekly experience that I'm going to be doing. And also I hope that you're using the time that I'm not doing my show to really get educated about what's going on in our world, and make sure that you have the vernacular to speak and be educated and be able to use your voice, because it's everybody's voice that's needed right now. So I hope that this show brought a smile to your face. I hope that it made you laugh where we could, and I hope that it gave you a little moment of joy. Hopefully this was a moment in your life that you chose to sit and watch the show and it brought you joy. Thank you all so much for watching this week, and I will see you on the next episode. Hi everyone, thanks for watching. To subscribe to my channel, click here, and to watch more videos, click here. Be sure to like, comment, and hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload a video.